friends. It's May. How did we get here? Oh my god, my teeth are like glowing yellow. Don't pay attention to that. Too much coffee. Weird lighting. Um, so this month's video is going to be all about yoga teacher training, which I've already said in the intro, so I might as well just get right to it. Um, I have been in training since April the 12th, I think. Editing me will figure that out. So I think I'm on my 4th week of this now. Yeah. And I think wait, the 7th. The 7th. Because then it would be okay, well whatever. I'm on this number of weeks of training now. Um and let me just give you a quick little recap. So in the beginning, it was super hard. Um, in fact, one of my instructors who does our on Monday nights, we kind of have a discussion about the different chakras and how they what they do in the body, energy work, like or not energy work, but um, so we talk about the chakras and what they do in the body, and then pranayama, the 8 limbs of yoga. It's all very cool. It's sort of we're getting into the history of yoga, the stuff that is not just like yoga poses or anatomy or a little bit of like the fitnessy aspect of it. So she actually happens to be the toughest instructor, as in her classes destroy me. In fact, I would be pretty much okay when I first started out, and then I'd get to her class on Monday nights, and I would be totally dead. Like I'd be so sore, and then Tuesday would come around, and I have another hour-long practice Tuesday night, and I would just be like, I'm an old woman. And so tonight though, I have her class, and like, oh my god, what is going on with the just ignore that. So I get to her class, and I had so much energy, and I felt so good, and I was getting weirdly emotional because I was just in the moment, and I felt so strong, and it was this beautiful feeling of I had a feeling of gratitude for how awesome it felt. Um, and I'm doing these things that I never thought my body could do. Um, yeah, like awesome. That we're doing basically a side plank where with your top leg you do a back bend with it and then grab it with your top arm. It was I never thought that I could manage to do that, and I did. And like I took all of the optional vinyasas except for one, I think, where I accidentally skipped plank because I went straight into Sphinx, and then I was like, well, I'm here early, I guess. Oops. So it was just so awesome and rewarding that all of these weeks before where like I was freaking out and feeling exhausted and feeling tired. And I mean, I was really honestly anxious in the beginning. Like, I don't know, I think it's just was just like a new change, like it was at the start of something scary. It's like you're going through a door and you don't know what's on the other side of that door. And now that I'm here, like I've kind of limped along, and then now I feel like I'm starting to make some progress. So anyway, I'm already starting to feel that sad feeling that I know it's only got a couple weeks left, and we only go to the end of May, and then we're gonna be done. And I, I love it. I want to be in yoga teacher training forever. I just want to keep doing yoga until I'm so buff I can just go like lift cars. But so yeah, today is the 3rd of May. This is what's up. I'm so super tired right now, though. I think my lady times are arriving or about to arrive, and that always makes me super tired in the beginning. But yeah, just checking in. I really do like feeling stronger. And an update. So I have continued to be pulling my daily tarot cards this month, and I mean 3 days in, woohoo! And I did celebrate Beltane with a local druid grove. They did an online ritual, and if you're not a member, it's a public ritual, so you can go and you can participate too, kind of like follow along. And I did, and it was actually really awesome. It was really long though, and I felt super bad because I had a really long day and I was just sitting there and kind of dying. But I made it through, and I have no regrets. So, any road.
It's like so relatable.
You're so relatable.
You know how when you go to the mall and then you step on a dead rat? Like, so relatable.
Okay. Bye. Well, hello, friends. I'm gonna put you up here while I make this video because I'm getting ready for bed. Okay, that's awkward AF, but you know, it's when it's it'll work. Okay, so it is. Oh, I hate how crooked this is. I can't. Okay. So it is the fourth day of yoga teacher training. I am exhausted. I'm so tired. And I could tell tonight that all of us trainee teachers are all just completely exhausted. And I think it's both like, it is a physical and mental exhaustion because we're learning a lot. I feel super lucky because I picked the studio to go through for training. That was my local studio that I've gone to a couple times, and it's like I think it is the closest yoga studio geographically to me. And I had read through their training stuff and saw what it was, and I really didn't know much about that. I'd done a little research about like what was out there, but I was like, I want to do this because I don't want to do some pre-recorded Zoom shit or whatever. And it's been amazing. I feel like my brain is blowing up every day. I'm learning something. It's not vitamins. I don't know why I opened my mouth. That was gross. Ugh. Oh. Don't eat your serum. So, yeah, it's been so much information about anatomy and describing the action of the joints of the body, how do you teach a class? What is the ethos of a yoga teacher? What is your point? We've gotten into the history, the subtle body, things like that I have just been completely blown away. There's so much information that I really do feel like I'm taking a class, or not a class, but I am taking a series of classes where my knowledge is just going to be hugely, like exponentially grown by the time I get to the end, which is incredible, right? Like, that's amazing. I absolutely love it, but I'm so indescribably tired. I think the Friday before class started, I was an anxious wreck. I was just so worried about how tired I would be, how sore, was I going to be able to cut it, like what was it going to be like? Just it's something new, and honestly, not to get kind of weird about it, but like, not to be emotional, I guess, about it, but like when you're about to go do something that's going to fundamentally change your perspective on something, particularly that's important to you, right? Like anything, this could be anything. I'm about to increase my knowledge, my dedication. I'm going to go from being a hobbyist to having some level of, hopefully, professional exposure or authority or education on this. And that's scary because your life is kind of about to change, right? How you see the world is about to change. I've done yoga as an escape for a long time, and that's no longer going to be the case. It's not just going to be this thing that I do when I listen to other people and I relax. It's going to be this physical, spiritual discipline that I have dedicated significant time and study to with the end goal of being able to teach others. That's a huge change. And I think that like that looming over me really
really made it hard and difficult kind of coming into this. It got easier once I started. I was fine, and now it's like I feel like I'm acclimating, but I am just so drained. I have so much information in my head. My body is exhausted. Like, wow. Like, what? It's crazy. It's been crazy. So, that being said, after the new moon on Sunday, it's Tuesday, I haven't done practically any of my like daily spiritual things that I've been doing because it's Tuesday, right? And I've had yoga Saturday for 4 hours, Sunday for 4 hours, Monday for 3 hours, and Tuesday for 3 hours. So like, that's nuts. I just have not been able to squeeze it in. And on one level, I feel kind of guilty for that, but on the other level, it's like I'm meditating, I'm doing this chakra work stuff, I'm doing some grounding exercises because we were talking about that in the class. Like, I'm definitely doing that, but I'm not doing my other things that I kind of have been wanting to do as part of this month's challenge. I think though it's pretty fair. It's okay. I think from like it's acceptable to say that I am doing spiritual things of something. I am engaged in spiritual practices of some kind. I'm meditating. I'm doing pranayama. You know, I'm doing something, even if it's not exactly what I set out to do. I'm still like, okay. So that being said, tonight I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna go to bed early. I'm gonna read a book, and then tomorrow I'm not gonna work out at all, which is hard for me since me like either working out, but I need to heal, I need to relax and let my body recuperate because I can feel I'm on the edge, I'm running on fumes. I'm gonna relax and I'm gonna, I'll engage in some restorative witchy things, so to speak. So, and that should get me back on track to kind of what I wanted to do. But it's been so challenging. Like, I am sore and tired and overflowing with information. I have homework, but I'm not going to do any of it tomorrow. I'm not going to do anything with yoga until Friday. I need a break. I gotta let everything settle down. So that's it. That's my check-in for today. Like, yeah, that is where I'm at right now. I have to cut myself some slack because wow, I did not anticipate how tired I would be. Okay, so it is it is April the 20th. Wow, what a ride this has been. I am dying tonight. I'm just fucking cracking up because just learning this video is now hot garbage. Maybe I need to actually write out my thoughts on this, but okay, so like tonight I got like the super giggles in the Zoom call because we were talking about how do you create a good sequence in a good class. And so like there's the concept of having an intro, so you have your introduction, some general flow that you do in the beginning, like maybe a couple sun salutations, followed by your standing poses, which are related to the theme of the class, and then your peak poses, where you get really difficult, and then you do some floor work, calm down, get down on the mat. I was dying because I was imagining, as the teacher said, you don't just come in and you just start immediately in plank pose. This is how my brain works. God, am I out of focus? My brain is immediately like, here is an opportunity for chaos. Let us jump upon this. Let us take advantage of this sweet slice of hot nonsense that we could create. So in my brain, I am immediately thinking, oh my God, how can I make that worse? Let's imagine the yoga class. Let's imagine the yoga class where you come into the door and the teacher says immediately, let's go full boat pose. No introduction. No sit down for a few calm breaths. No shit. No inner peace. No meditating. No, don't even roll around a little bit. Nah. Just full boat pose immediately. Just imagine. Followed that by let's go with like a really disjointed set of motions, of movements that make no sense. So we'll start with, let's go to one side of the mat for chaturanga and then immediately flip around to do chaturanga on the other side of the mat. No fucking reason. I died. I was just sitting there laughing, and everybody in the class is looking at me like I'm a complete crazy person. Okay, I'm a little bit of a crazy person, but you have to admit that idea is hilarious. Just do everything wrong. Like, hyperextend the knees, hold your breath. My favorite one was release the pelvic floor. Because, when you hold in the pelvic floor, that keeps you from peeing. Now imagine the class where you're encouraged to aggressively relax your pelvic floor. Everybody pees themselves. I can't. I just can't. Yoga is it's a gift. And my brain is a curse. Oh God. Okay. I had to get that out somehow. It was just so good. I could not share it. Right now we've been talking about, we've really kind of transitioned from talking about like not mastering, but understanding the anatomy of the most of the basic poses of yoga, moving into prenatal and restorative yoga, other forms. That transition right now has been kind of hard because I've been missing the real strength building, fiery types of yoga. And I think right now it's really helpful for me to recognize this too, actually, because it's kind of telling me what I want to teach. And I definitely want to teach right now anyway, some sweaty classes. That's going to be my goal. I didn't expect that a lot. It's been interesting seeing that there are people who make like a whole career out of very not, like power vinyasa, but very slow, very mindful practices. And I think that is so awesome, but it's also been educational in that I don't think I really want to do that right now in my life. That's just not where I'm at. I definitely want to do a more, spicy type of style, which is, sometimes that's how you learn, right? You see something and keep an open mind to it. And I enjoyed doing it. It was great. I have not napped so well in my entire life as I have after doing restorative yoga. So that's awesome. But again, I don't think I'm not going to want to focus on teaching that. Maybe I'll decide, but leave the door open. You could change your mind. I might suddenly decide that I don't want to do anything spicy and I just want to do, something else. So I'm really tired. Yesterday was Robert's birthday, so I had Chinese food and cheesecake, and I cleaned our entire patio off, and it was just like going. And I had to work it too, and so it was just like work followed by going. But any road, that's kind of my update right now. I feel like teacher training is winding down, and I'm kind of sad. And I know that's gonna leave a void behind when I don't have it anymore. And so I want to take some time this week to sit down and kind of plan out my own yoga education, so to speak. Like, what am I going to do when this is done, so I can continue to learn? And then how am I going to hold myself accountable so that I keep developing these skills? Because 200 hours, dudes, does not even scratch the surface of being a competent yoga teacher. I mean, it definitely is, more than you started with, but it to me highlights how much I don't know. It's like now I've gone from a beginner to more of a beginner. My ignorance is highlighted. But yeah, that's the update. I really want to find something so that I don't feel lost after it ends. And then and something to keep me going after it ends, so that I don't lose this awesome strength that I've built, and that I don't chicken out and listen to my fear and not try to teach, since that is what I want to do. So, putting that out there. Okay. Bye. Hello, friends. My last yoga teacher training was yesterday. It was Tuesday night. I am still processing all my emotions from that experience being done. I have a lot of feelings. I couldn't even really talk in the class because I knew once I started talking, I would basically just start crying. Which I did start crying at the end. I am, water signs unite, I guess. I can't escape it. We were, it's been a journey. I think it's going to take me a little while longer to process, and I have a couple more days in the month to do that, which is good too, because I still have my final project to do that I'm going to work on today. Because I really need to think about how do I articulate this experience that really, has changed my life a lot. I went in expecting one thing and got something so huge and so powerful that I feel kind of naive, I guess, for signing up for something without considering the huge implications it was going to have for everything else. Not that those implications are bad. It's just that, you sign up for something for fun, and then it challenges you to look at your entire life and how you live it. It's pretty serious. It's very humbling, and it was the most expensive thing that I have done for myself outside of college. It's been over a decade since I've invested in myself to that degree. I mean, I've paid for much smaller things, here in a class here and there or whatever, but not an intensive program that costs several $1,000s. And I feel like it was so worth it, even though it was scary and daunting, and it was a lot. So anyway, I will be back towards the end of the month to kind of talk after I've had some time to chew on this, because I'm still, all caught up in all of those feelings about being done and what that means, what the next steps are, and who am I now as, Cassie, yoga teacher. Yeah, it's crazy. Like they ended the class with a sort of prayer for fellow teachers, and them being like, welcome to the teaching club, in a much more profound way. And I just sobbed because it was so awesome and humbling and beautiful. And we did it through Zoom. Okay, I'm talking too much. So I'll see you guys later on for further recap. I just got done making my yoga final, and dirty camera. And well, I'm done. I just gotta go stitch this bad boy together tomorrow and turn it in.